This is News Echoes on Nigerian affairs, but talking to the global audience. I'm so glad you're watching. My name is Shegun Johnson, and today we've got so many news items to go through so that you can have an informed opinion. I'm not the only one in this today. I have prominent and eminent personalities who have been on this journey, and we want to have a look at it. From Toronto, Canada, we have Sir George Chuku. Sir George, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegan, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Welcome to our show today.
The lady amongst us, Lady BD in Lagos, you are welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegun. Viewers around the world, good morning. Good to have you once again this week. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we know that good things have been happening to you. Maybe you will tell us later because today is a special day. First day of February. In the seat of power, the one who is closest to the presidency of Nigeria, Dr. Osita Anyemeka, a well-known university proprietor. Means you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shegun. Glad to be here.
And last but not the least, Massive Mark, we call him Mark in Milan. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Good morning, legends, Diva, PD. It's good to see you guys again.
Yes, and it's a good day. Why not? I love the month of February, not because I was born in February. No. It's just I just happen to love it. Oh, how many of us we love to have the Naira currency in their pockets, especially for those who are living in Nigeria now. This is the first time I'm hearing that a currency cannot be distributed out, not because there is a problem like in Venezuela, but because the government would like to rush everybody to a cashless society where they cannot even transfer. And people have coming to say that we cannot get our money out, money to eat. And even if you take the Nigerian situation, we are market women, they depend on the profit of that day to feed the following day. And if they don't work with money, there will be no way they can feed themselves. That is why protests don't last more than 2 days in Nigeria. The traders, they need the profit of the previous day to feed. Now, nobody appear to be having the money except the bank managers, the wives of bank directors, and the rest. There are so many things that are tied into this Naira currency. How about the politics of it all? The politics is that there is a problem between the presidency and the governor of central bank on one hand, and the other rich Nigerians on the other, including senators and federal legislators. There are so many things, and I don't want to appear like I'm monopolizing this discussion. Let's go to our lady who has been to the bank and who has been there with several challenges. Many of it I cannot even say from here. Lady B, tell us what is going on in Lagos.
Good morning, Dr. Shegun. A lot is going on in Nigeria and Lagos, to be precise. People are suffering in this country. One fella said, suffering and smiling. Many of us did not understand that statement. And that is actually what is going on in Nigeria now. The truth situation is that most Nigerians can no longer access their money. They said, go to the bank and change your money. They will go to the banks and banks say there is no money. And the CBN said the banks have the money. And the bank said there is no money. We go to the POS. The POS said there is no money. And if you must buy, if you must withdraw from POS, it's not trading, it's not money. Nigerian money is not, our logo tender is not a business. They will give they will collect 10% or 20% for you to access the Naira in Nigeria. They say there is no money, and it's not as if there is no money, there is no new Naira note. There is, but it's in the wrong hands. And let me tell you, as we speak now, one of the reasons they say they are changing our Naira notes is because it's in the wrong hands. But the Naira already, the Naira notes is already in the wrong hand. The bandits have this Naira more than the average Nigerians need it. It's in the wrong hand. The bank managers are doing business with our money. I was in the bank 2 days ago. I wanted to make a withdrawal. They said there's no money. I have to make a transfer. And I need to go to the market. I need to buy foodstuff. Most people in the market do not do transfer. They don't have POS. I said they should give me just 20,000 Naira. They refused. They said there is no money. Not until I started shouting, because before they were able to give me 20,000 Naira. And I was not the only one there. A lot of people were there even before I came. And they were able to give me. If you see the way they did it, they said, follow this way, come and stand in front of POS, because I was shouting. Now, when I collected my money, and I turned back and said, what about these people? They were here before I came. You probably attended to me because I told them I was going to go live, and which I did. You know, they were afraid of me, maybe because they felt I'm a journalist. Maybe probably I might go a step further to, broadcasting their bank they gave to me. And I didn't live there. I have to ask them, now you've given to me. What about other Nigerians?
Okay, let me ask you one question.
You to give them money.
We have seen the video that you sent to us, and we have seen other videos, how people were pushing themselves like it was a hellish video. What is the psychological trauma of all this on the people? Are they translating it to, okay, we have to change our government, or we have to change? Has it been translated in the minds of people because they have suffered too much? Or they just say, well, this is Nigeria, let it be so?
No, you should understand Nigerians. The pain, the suffering is of now. An average Nigerian don't have lost his longer capacity of thinking, of our assumption. They are thinking of now. The pain is now. By the time they get that money and walk out of that bank premises, they've forgotten what they went through. That is Nigeria for you. Of course.
That's a very good.
Let me tell you, there was a place, one guy they almost killed. It was in a police station and he's shouting APC. If not that people intervened, they nearly killed that boy. So Nigerians, they're actually saying that they're going to change this government. They're actually saying they're going to change this government. But it's not just by saying it. Nigerians are suffering. Let me tell you, Dr. Shegu, you know I cried 2 days ago. Yes, I did. I'm not ashamed to say it on air. Because I went to the bank, I can't access my money. I went to the police station, I could not buy fuel. My car has to sleep in the police station for 2 days. And you know what made me cry? You know, when I said that what everybody's struggle in Nigeria is relevancy. I was there, they said they are not selling fuel. But I was there. The cars were coming. Big cars. Maybe probably I should make time and look for money to buy big
car. Don't worry, it happens everywhere.
And they were selling
it happens everywhere, even in some places. I won't mention names. Thank you. Let's move from the commercial city of Lagos to the capital city, commercial city of Nigeria, Lagos, to the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja, where Dr. Sita Anyemeka is making waves. Dr. Sita, what's the situation in the capital of Nigeria?
I think it's the same thing with Lagos, listening to what BD just said. Yesterday, I was in a hospital, my normal annual routine check. And after I had received all the prescriptions and ordered for tests, I had to pay some money, for the next steps. The POS in the hospital was not working. And then they said there is a commercial POS behind. So I went there and I said to the lady, I need 40,000 Naira. You know what she said to me? 4,000. And I said, what? So she said, okay, it's 10%. I said, what? How to pay
exactly
10%?
What did you just say?
Yes, to access my own money. No, this is personal experience. I said to her, to hell with you. So I jumped into my car and went to the bank. I got to the bank and saw a snake queue. It was like a rigmarole. Everybody to the main road and everybody was complaining. So I now said, okay, fine. This is the time for me to use my personality. I walked into the bank and I said, I want to see the bank manager. And they said, okay, bank manager, no day. I knew they were lying.
They got you.
I knew they were lying because the issue is that everybody has gone bonkers. Without cash, there's no society. There's no society. If you saw what happened yesterday was just crisis day. The POS guys went into town to buy money they will sell to owners of the same money from their outlets. So some of them were doing 10%, some were doing 15%, some were doing 20%. But to answer the question you asked, BD, in Abuja, everybody is tired. They actually say it on the streets. They say it in Bolt. They say it in Oba, in taxis, and even as pedestrians. Everybody is saying, "Let February come and let's express our disgust." We're praying that it will come. We're not saying this because of politics. We're saying this because Nigeria has suffered enough. Our image is down the drain. As a matter of fact, my friends are calling me and they're saying, "What are you still doing there?" This is my country.
Yeah.
I'm going nowhere. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it.
Well, thank you very much to both of you, Didi and Dr. OC. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Godwin Ibe all the way from Moscow, Russia. But let's hear from our friend in Toronto. Sir George, you've listened to those on the ground. What do you think is actually behind the scene? Because people are listening to us, wanting to know the politics, the economics, the dynamics, the mechanics of how to ruin the country. Sir George, open our eyes.
Okay, before we started this conversation a while ago, I had said that the main situation is that the bank managers are taking advantage of this crisis. I said it a while ago, because if the central bank is saying we have released certain amount of money and is being given to the banks are now finding a way to limit the amount of money and the people that they're going to give this money to, and therefore this money is not coming through the POS, it's not coming through the tellers, it's going through the back door. Because those people that has hoarded money for so many years are now going privately to the bank managers, and the bank managers are making a deal with them. You see, when Dr. Osita went to talk, to that lady, and he said, "Oh, 4,000, 10%." Let me tell you, this is exactly where it came from. It is very highly probable that the bank managers are giving money to those that are exchanging it for them and making money in return. This is that corruption that we're talking about in Nigeria. It is so sad that we can't even, there's no compassion in our hearts anymore, because corruption has taken, is just in the bloodstream of everybody. And yet we're wanting a change. And that's it. If you go to the Malams now, you will see them with stacks and stacks of money, brand new money. Where did they get it from? They come up with so much thousands of Naira new notes, and yet the common man cannot even access their money to buy food to eat. It is comprehension.
Wow.
This is the reason why we demand a change. But a young guy one time was at the gas station and say, "Oh, listen, I have been there for 2 days and I want to get gas. And because I'm suffering, I'm able to talk to network with an Hausa man, with Yoruba man. Let's continue to suffer because we like suffering. Maybe we can all get together. All the differences in our lives may crumble to the floor because of suffering." It's crazy.
Please, in one sentence, George, I know you live in Canada, and what kind of damage are they doing to our economy? Because normally this could lead to recession or negative. Do the leaders see what they're doing, or they don't have an inkling of what they're doing?
Let me tell you something. The problem we have in that country is no accountability. That is one thing. Because number one is we shouting, we saying this here in the air, internationally, but nobody will pick up the phone and say, "Let's investigate." Emefiele, which banks did you give the money? Where is the system? How did this money get distributed to which banks? Bank manager. How come the central bank is saying that you receive such amount of money and you're not able to give money to the people? Nobody does that investigation. Everybody is sitting pretty. The bank managers and those people that are working with them, they're all sitting pretty because nobody will investigate. And even if you investigate, they pay you off. That is the major problem we have in that country. It is messing up because even our politicians here locally, they're seeing what is happening. All they're
Yeah.
praying is that something will change in that country so that business can continue.
Thank you very much, Sir George. Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow. I know that Russia is very happy right now, and rightly so, because while countries like the United Kingdom is going to recession, Russia, we have been told by the World Bank, is doing well in his politics and economy. Now, tell us, what effect do you think this Naira currency saga is going to have on Nigerian economy? Like BD said, the Nigerian society is used to suffering. They will have this kind of suffering, and they will not think of how to change its political leadership. The way they reason is different from the rest of the world. But for you who have been in a very neat economy, what do you think? What are your views on the economic impact of this Naira saga?
Yes, it's I hope I'm audible. Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It's going to have it's already having a devastating effect both on microeconomic scale and macroeconomic scale. And we can see it both in short-term effects and medium-term effects. Because not only the availability of cash affecting trade, also the unreliability, unpredictability is in fact is one of the biggest problem in economics, because almost everything in economics, the big movements of cash are based on rate and returns, risks, uh, stock markets and foreign direct investments. I mean, the big movers of money in the economy are very, very sensitive to political changes and all of this. And so, both on the macroeconomic scale and the microeconomic scale of labor, demand, price, purchases, and the availability of Naira notes. Now, besides the witch hunting of the potential witch hunting of the APC candidate, uh, I don't see what else, in terms of efficiency that this new Naira notes have done, because it wasn't executed properly. Even though the idea was good, going to a cashless society, but it wasn't executed properly. And like I predicted earlier in our programs, that the CBN governor was going to extend the date, but he was going to wait to the last day. And that's exactly what he did. I always anticipated, I never had any doubt about that, because it's the way sometimes we work in Nigeria in our African time. But behind the scenes, he should have done much better in terms of preparation, because it's not excusable. The witch hunting, whether you had it in the back of your mind or not, for the APC candidate, or maybe rightful hunting. Let me not call it witch hunting, maybe rightful hunting, but it wasn't executed properly, and it's
All
affecting a
right.
lot of Nigerians.
Thank you very much. We're giving much time to it because this is Nigeria we're talking about, and I see that Ambassador Nat Yako has joined us from London. Ambassador Nat, how are you doing, sir? Ambassador Nat, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
In your country, yes, I can. In your country, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer has just been forced out of government for not paying enough taxes and on time. Given the Naira saga, who do you think his head should roll or heads should roll in the unfortunate manner that it has been handled?
I think right from the onset, this central bank governor Emmanuel Emefiele, should
Godwin
be
Emefiele.
at the front line for firing. Because yeah, he behaves so arrogantly and spitefully. Even the ministers of defense. But you cannot behave as if you are above the laws of the land. The National Assembly is there, and he decided to. I mean, at the end, he was humiliated anyway. But the economy is the one suffering the most, because the Nigerian society, uh, most of the people in the rural area don't do any banking. They just stock their cash in under the pillow or somewhere else. And this is where we find ourselves now,
Okay, let me ask you one question quickly. Do you think it is
above
politically motivated?
where and above the national. Godwin Emefiele should not should
Okay, we come back to Ambassador. Massive mark in Milan. Do you
Yes,
think
sir.
this? Do you think this is politically motivated or is economically motivated? Because Asiwaju Tinubu was giving us the impression that the fuel shortage in Nigeria and the lack of naira currency in the country is politically motivated. Is that true or is economically motivated? Which one?
Yes. Thank you very much. This we shouldn't go off also from one thing that is basic in this discussion, and that is the fact that Godwin Emefiele was also summoned to the House, and he had to explain to the House why all this. Everything looks so clueless. So finally, he appeared before the Rep Committee over the new Naira notes. He was interrogated by what they call an ad hoc committee on the scarcity of the new Naira notes. So the central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, was there. He said so many things. Now, we from this corner took note of some of the words he said. He said in 2015, 1.4 trillion was in circulation. And by last year, it had risen to 3.33 trillion naira. So he explained that the reason for directing banks to ensure only ATM withdrawal was to limit the daily withdrawal of individuals. He gave so many reasons. This 1-year-old man, Godwin Emefiele, agreed anyway that the policy will hurt so many people, but he claimed that it was in the interest of the country, especially combating insecurity. So we don't know how.
But wait a minute. That contradicted what the president of the Federal Republic said openly. President Buhari said that this change of currency will not allow people who have stashed the old currency in their homes, which means that's politically motivated, which is not wrong if that is the policy of the nation. But then we are having these contradictory views. Economically motivated, looking for cashless society. On the other hand, those who have stolen money will not be able to pump it back. Which one is it? And is it actually against the APC presidential candidate who said it openly? Which one are we to take now?
Confusing issues going on, big brother. Dr. Shagun, it's all playing out in a very funny way. And somehow we don't know, maybe the gods of the land are also putting heads together so we can have a change in government. Well, one thing is that, yes, every country changes their naira at a point in time. There's a given period when it has to be that naira, the money currency circulation, and there's a time to change. So, but this is playing out in a strange way. Some people think they are being witch hunted. Some people say it's ideal. Some people, all kinds of reasons are coming up. So, but anyway, Emefiele he was in the House yesterday, and even though that was after he got the threat, the House was going to use the police to arrest him He was actually on the arrest warrant, and that compelled him to appear before the House. So let's see how it plays out. We are still watching, but like those on ground have said, the situation is not too pleasant for the people. People are not. It's very, very rough out there.
All right. Thank you, BD. In 30 seconds, because I want to ask this question to send this question to Dr. Sita. So in 30 seconds, what's the fuel situation in Nigeria? Are people getting to the filling stations and buying their petrol after one day queue? You told us 2 days. Has it improved now?
It's getting worse. So asking if it's getting worse, Dr. Shegu, it's getting worse. And it's so
What's the
appalling.
explanation? What's the explanation? Are they the marketers are refusing to pump out the fuel so that they want to know whether they will remove subsidy or not? Is that the reason?
They said the marketer is saying, the government is saying they are removing subsidy, and Nigerians are saying, remove the subsidy and let these products be available. Nigerians, they will buy. But none of this is happening. It's so heartbroken that for the first time in Nigeria, we are experiencing fuel scarcity for going to 4 months now, or even 5 months, because I remember this thing started since October, and we're in February.
Okay. Okay.
The
Because of
queue,
time, I will quickly go to Dr. Osi. Osita in Abuja, is it the same thing there?
Yes, the crisis is mounting, and nobody has
What
come to
is
say
the
anything
cause?
about it.
What is the cause of it? Tell us, please.
Anything anybody tells you now is guesswork. Anything. Nobody has told us anything about the products that we exploit and explore and export and import. Nobody tells us anything about it at all. So
Okay.
everything we are doing now, and if you know the size of 10 liters, it is now 4,000 naira, meaning that the
Wow.
pump price now is 400, 400 naira per liter.
Okay,
It's
let me
sad,
quickly jump
very
to
sad.
Toronto. Sir George, in 30 seconds. Now, currency is supposed to move from one place to the other. The Naira as a currency is now not there in people's pocket. Fuel is supposed to move your car from one place to the other. You don't have the fuel. So can we then describe Nigeria as a static country right now? No currency, no petrol.
Well, like Osiwaju said that this was against him. I'm not quite sure how he determined that, the logistical problems we're having in Nigeria was created for a single person, one man that is against him. We have a very serious issue in Nigeria. I don't know, how people are going to be able to survive from between now and that election day, and it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue, and I'm not quite sure what the answers are right now as we are,
Okay.
except for a
All
new
right. Thank
government.
you. Dr. Ibe in Moscow, we understand that Moscow called Abuja. You think they'll be talking about the fuel or something?
I think he's now in the studio, Dr. Shagun.
Oh, all right. Okay, Mark. They say Russia is calling Nigeria, speaking to Nigeria, or maybe spoke to Nigeria yesterday. You
Yes.
think they're discussing something serious about fuel and Naira currency, or everybody is fighting for his own national interest?
Everybody is fighting for his own national interest. But if I were Nigeria, I think we could be discussing how to improve our fuel, petrol production, and all this because with Russia, because Russia has done excellently well in that aspect. But we don't know what they are talking yet. It was what we had as at yesterday was a congratulatory message in between them. So, but
Okay, and the Dangote refinery, which was commissioned, has it gone into action?
not yet.
All right. On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at the saga in Osun State, Adeleke versus Oyetola. As we speak, we really don't know who is governing Osun State. Don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
today's world, changing your mindset.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, ADC na the party for you and me.
Yes, ADC arise, ADC.
Thank you for staying with us. This is News Echoes discussing issues of Nigeria. Ademola Adeleke is not new to the politics of Osun State. He contested election 4 years ago. The results were pasted and everybody saw that he won. But Oyetola, supported by Tinubu, went to the tribunal and the tribunal said, well, Adeleke should not be given the governorship because one of the tribunal members did not sign. He attended the tribunal hearing. Not that he did not attend, but that he did not sign the paper. For that reason, when the lawyers came into being, Ademola Adeleke was not given the governorship. 4 years after, and another election, Adeleke and Oyetola again. This time around, INEC gave it to Ademola Adeleke as the governor of Osun State. However, Oyetola has gone to the tribunal again, and the argument was that there was a extra vote given to Ademola Adeleke. I don't want to say it all. Let the people who have been looking at it tell us something. Let me ask Ambassador Nat. Ambassador Nat, tell us more. What is going on in Osun State?
Well, I would have thought the people on ground in Nigeria may be in a better position, but let me say what I know about what is going on. We all know that on the 16th of July 2022, there was a governorship election in Osun State, and the race was mainly between APC and PDP. After the elections and the votes were counted, Adeleke Ademola was declared the elected governor of Osun State. And at the expiration of Oyetola's office of being the governor, Ademola was sworn in. But Oyetola said no, he suspects foul play, and APC went to the tribunal. And APC was seeking 2 or 3 reliefs mainly. The first one was that Ademola was not qualified to even stand for the elections because they said Ademola Adeleke forged his certificate and he was not qualified. And then there was overvoting in 744 polling units. Overvoting means that people went to vote without without accreditation and without the BVAS identifying them. And so the numbers of votes cast in the polling unit was more than what was registered on the list. And the tribunal looked at this carefully after the two parties submitted their cases, and it was discovered, sadly and shamefully, it was discovered that Ademola's votes, Ademola Adeleke was declared to have got 403,371 votes, but it was discovered that there was an overvoting of 290,266. When the tribunal did their subtraction, because the two parties, APC and PDP, did overvoting, but Adeleke was seen to have, the PDP was seen to have overvoted more than Oyeleke. And when the overvoted counting was done, Ademola was short of votes, and Oyetola had higher number of votes, and the tribunal declared him the lawfully elected governor. And so we are now waiting to hear what will happen. Adeleke is going to appeal, but it's very sad. It's very sad that we cannot even conduct our elections without cheating.
Okay, Dr. Osita, I know you're on the ground. Please tell us more. What is going on?
Did you call me, Osita?
Yes, yes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much, Ambassador Nat. You have analyzed it properly. Vote pardon in Nigeria is a norm. We have observed it in so many elections. My problem with this is that both of them had vote pardon issues. Is it because one outsmarted the other one in vote pardon that makes him a winner, or that makes him a loser? Because the issue at stake now is that it is a possibility that people are cheating because the election was not well conducted. The election has been trivialized. Everybody is talking about shame. Shame is on INEC. The shame is on INEC because 403,000 and 375,000 were votes counted that made Adeleke a winner. Now he's going to be removed because the other person did not count as much as he did, but they both cheated. Are we now saying that because Oyetola was a victim that he has won? So let's get INEC to do things properly. If the court decides that Adeleke is not governor, and Adeleke goes appeals and cannot get it, let him go home because he had committed a crime. But that does not mean that the man who is going to become governor had won by with honors. And this is also what we're going to be checking in the next elections. These are just a couple of elections before the main thing. When this thing happens this month, we are praying that we're not going to be dealing with vote pardon, because if that will be the case, then it's going to take us a long time to find who really wins.
Okay, thank you.
Bidi,
we're going to use this same BVAS, and I understand it's bimodal. That is, they will take the fingerprint and the face. So how are we sure that the February 25 elections, taking care of presidency and National Assembly, how are we sure that INEC is up to the task?
With what just happened in Osun, majority of people might not even trust INEC again because election was conducted in Osun. INEC canceled the votes. After 3 months, they are coming to tell Nigerians that what they announced was wrong. I don't care who padded vote or who did not padded. My focus is on INEC. Now, coming to your, how are we sure INEC is going to do the right thing? Because it's obvious they're not doing the right thing. What I'm saying, I might not even say the words I want to use might not be good for national broadcast. It has shown that Nigerian INEC cannot be trusted. Yes, that's my own.
All right, thank you. Sir George.
You know, time on this show, I asked you, I told you that people are buying PVC in large quantity. And now I said it's either they don't understand the work of BVA or what BVA stands for. Because the rate at which political parties are buying PVC, it now comes down to the rigging. Election can never be rigged in Nigeria without the INEC getting involved. So it becomes a problem to every Nigerian. So we don't know what we are going to face on February 25th.
Okay, thank you. Sir George, do you think we're told the whole story on this Osun State? Because I just believe that there's something behind the scene. What do you say?
I believe that there is something behind the scene. When it comes to our people and the way we behave and what money can do, there is always inside scoop about the whole entire thing. We believe that. And so whether the Adeleke himself did something to manipulate the election to get in, or that Oyetola himself is, fighting for, for fairness and justice, it's difficult to tell because, to be very frank with you, there are so many things happening that it is so difficult for us to actually come out unless the truth eventually comes out. But it will be very difficult to do so. Now look at what is happening and what video was talking about, whether we can trust INEC. From my own point of view, if you ask me, listening to the person who is in charge of INEC, what's his name, Yakubu
Mahmoud.
Mahmoud, I believe that man is honest, and I believe that man wants things to go right. That's my own analysis of him, listening to him, and preparation is being well done that this election will go the right way. And I also believe that he's listening to the president who wants to leave a very positive image eventually as he exits, that things were done fairly and equitably. But the problem we have is the person that is on top. Once that power leaves him and starts trickling down, everybody is looking for their pocket.
Wow.
So we don't know where the crack will come from. It could come from the people at the end. It could come from, in the middle part. But the thing is that today, as we stand, we are praying that the conscience of the people, seeing the masses suffering, will touch their hearts, and they will not sell their birthright with a few pieces of
porridge. Dr. Ibe, what do you see to all of these? Adeleke won, he lost, he won, he lost. We something is we still don't know what is happening, in my own opinion.
Yes, some of the factors that get me concerned is insider information. For example, knowing how much accreditations were done and being able to compare that with the actual votes. I'm not sure we have all this information in the public, but it seems to know the exact accredited votes in each polling station and then how much eventually came in. It seems like insider information, and if it's insider information, then the person that's most likely to get it is the ruling class. Now, we understand that the governor of Osun State is from a party that is not the ruling class in the country. So it seems like the odds were stacked against him. I'm not exonerating him from what he's been accused of doing, but I'm saying that in terms of power and authority, the odds were stacked against him. So all these have to come into play, whether the judge or the justice system is truly independent or is pandering towards the government's party. And I believe that if it's true that there were more votes than the accredited votes in the polling units, why were the people who were there at the police station allowed the vote to go through? Is
And
it
when
that
when they counted it, why could they not just nullify it if that situation was
nullified at that point? At that point, exactly.
point.
That's my point. At that point, because at the station there, you know the vote, you know they know the agents, the polling, the officials, INEC officials, they know the accredited vote. They knew at that point, at that day, that there was some mago, or as we call it in Nigeria. Why didn't they do anything about it? So it's insider information. That's what I'm saying. There's insider information leak. The odds are stacked against it. The independence of the justice system, or is it pandering to the party of the ruling class? And all of that needs to be answered.
Thank you, sir.
Can I say something quickly?
Quickly, yes.
Okay, quickly. Look at this. Who is the person who was instigating this whole entire thing? Who brought it out in the open and wanted to change the whole narratives? Who is the individual? Wasn't it the former governor who is, running for the presidency right now?
Yeah.
Was he not the one who instigated this whole thing? Was he not the one funding this whole thing? Because I believe that he got something to do with something somewhere. So what can we know his interest in this whole saga?
Oh yeah, we can easily say it openly. That's no problem. The present or the ex-governor Oyetola is the cousin of Tinubu, that we know, and he funded it the other time, and Tinubu is known to be interfering in Osun State. That's his original home country. When Aregbesola contested election, he was the one who funded his going to court, and eventually Aregbesola won through the court. And so we know his vested interest, very much so, because it was a shame on him that his original home state, he lost there in that Adeleke victory. So we know where he stands. There's no, is in the public domain. But quickly, Mark in Milan, I want to ask you, who governs in Nigeria? That is, who determines the governor of a state or any election at all? I'm going to give is an objective question. A, the people. B, the tribunals. C, the money. Who determines?
The way it is now in Nigeria, the way it's going, it looks like the tribunal decides. Every election ends in the tribunal. Let's take note also, there's something funny about this Adeleke Oyetola's case. There's a song called Buga by Keith Daniel.
Yes.
Funny enough, the lawyer, Oyetola's lawyer, the young man you see on the screen now, that's the lawyer, he said the Buga song and the Buga comment was directly being said to Oyetola, and that wasn't right. So they are using that song also as one of the excuses for this whole thing, apart from the vote pardon. The lawyer said the Buga comment that was made by Adeleke, that he danced to the Buga music. He danced to that song, and that dance was a dance of, he thinks he has outsmarted them. So very funny, but
how true was it? We are told that the song Buga was in the judgment as well. That is no time to get low, and Buga. And how could that be in a judgment?
Ridiculous.
Students of law
very ridiculous.
In the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Ridiculous.
Where law students will be referring to. Is that the kind of country we are running?
But everybody was laughing in the court, but that's what we're hearing, that a song, somebody's song, and a man danced to a song is now a sign that he thinks he has outsmarted his opponent, and he knows he has done some things like the forgery, certificate forgery, and all this thing. And now he has bugaed them. And this is what they were saying out there. Very ridiculous.
Sir George, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I mean, this is just nothing but it's so ridiculous. Can
so
you
trivial
imagine?
now.
What this is so juvenile to go to the court of law and they want to use a song to emotionally sabotage, the judge and the tribunal, because they have taken money. That's all it is. When you ask Mark something, you say who determines? Who determines? Is it the people or the God or the
tribunal or even INEC?
At the end of the day, what determines is Naira. Don't you see that the bullion van that went into the compound of somebody has found its way into some underground railroad, has transferred some of this money into some tribunal hands? Isn't it possible? Can you just imagine what is really going on?
And when the bullion van will miss his road, it has to miss it to somebody's house in Bodilon Road. All the poor people of Isaleko, the bullion van could not go into them.
But he went in there. And then all of a sudden, underground railroad is going into the tribunals' houses.
And just talking about the blue rail line, it was test run by Governor Sanwo-Olu. And then we asked questions. Will it start running? They said no, not until it is commissioned. Ambassador Nat, then it was commissioned by Buhari. And every day since then, I've been asking Lagos, has the blue rail started? Has the blue rail started? I want to come to Nigeria. I want to make use of the blue rail line. And every day, they said no. So the government of Lagos State a few days ago said it will not start until maybe 3 to 6 months. Ambassador Nat, is this how we run that country?
Well, Buhari himself should not even have been invited to commission any blind, because 40, 50 years ago, he cancelled the
one
made by line that Jakande had proposed, and for Sanwo-Olu to come around, for Sanwo-Olu to come around to use blue line as a campaign tool is also very sad and it's unfortunate. And for it not to run for 6 months, so what was the commissioning for? What were they commissioning?
To win election, isn't
it? Go for show or what?
Yeah.
It's a political
Dr. Osita in Abuja, we understand that the helicopter of President Buhari was towed in Kano, where Ganduje, who collected dollars, bribe dollars openly, and nothing has happened to him. Of course, he could use governorship immunity, and now his presidential helicopter. What's going on there in Nigeria?
Can we reduce the volume, please? The president was stoned in Kano.
Yeah.
These were just statements of the people. The president has been stoned in his home state, Katsina. These are statements of the people. We are all dissatisfied. The ones, people who can afford to come vocal by these non-verbal cues, by this body language, should please go ahead with what they are doing. But the issue is that in this couple of months, there are going to be more violence, because even after the elections, when people are going to be preparing for handover, there's going to be statements made by people about dissatisfaction about who won and who did not win.
Do you, with what you have said, do you envisage, sorry, Dr. Sita, this is very important. Do you, with what you have said, do you envisage at a point where the President Buhari will step aside and appoint and anoint a caretaker?
No, because he wouldn't want to do that. You know why? Because he doesn't even know what is happening. If they didn't stone him in Kano, and if he didn't see the stones himself, he wouldn't have known that he was stoned. The man is so protected
I don't believe
from
he
the
doesn't know
realities
what
of
he's
on
doing.
ground.
I don't believe he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, I used to
Let
believe
me
that this
let
man.
me let, let, let me correct that. Let me correct
Hmm.
that. He doesn't know what is happening, not what he's doing.
Oh,
That is,
okay.
there are
All
two
right.
different
All right.
things.
I have to
Yes,
ask Biddy.
the man
Thank
has
you.
been
Thank
so
you.
protected, insulated, that he doesn't know what is
Insulated will
happening.
be the word. Yeah. Insulated. Biddy,
Yes,
have you taken the blue
yes.
rail line? I just want to know. You live in Lagos. Or is it the red rail line coming to your house?
There's nothing like blue red line. There's nothing like that. I said it here the other time. Nothing like that. They just came and
I just want
commissioned
to.
it. And you're talking about presidents. Presidents have the culture of commissioning uncompleted projects. Now, talking about President being stoned in Kano. Before he went to that Kano, the governor of Kano State asked him not to come.
That's correct.
Told him not to come. That people are not pleased with him. According to what Dr. Sita said, you know, and with the kind of thing APC will display, APC will always tell you that they are the best. He has this mindset that he has done well, that who are the kind of people, I will go there. By the time they will see me, they will go ballet. They will, he got
For
there
those who don't speak
and he
Yoruba, that
got
means they will
what is
prostrate.
meant for him. This, but then, what did he say?
I say for those who don't speak Yoruba
He got
language, Dobale means they will prostrate.
exactly. Exactly. So he there. And now my question is this: how did they have access to the wrong way? If you look at the video, it started from the wrong way. Do you understand? The people in Kano, I once said it that the revolution in Nigeria will start from the north. It's telling you because in
Okay.
as much as they
I'm just,
shrink us in this country, they
Biddy in
silence us in
Lagos.
this country.
I'm just mindful of the time. We will have loved to listen to you all day long, but I'm mindful of the time. I'm going to call Mark
It's
in
okay.
Milan. Tell us the good news. Now, it's not all gloom and doom concerning Nigeria. There's a good news coming from Italy, in Nigeria making waves. Mark in Milan. Tell us quickly. You have 30 seconds to tell us at least good news for our people to take home. Is Mark there? Okay, I will say it myself. In Milan, Akinsanmiro from Remo Carpet Football Club has been taken on to be. Oh, Mark is the back. Okay, Mark, tell us what's going on in Milan.
Yes. Can you hear me? Good.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yes, you just said the name. An 18-year-old boy, a good football player, joined Inter Milan from Remo Stars. Um, the transfer fee is not clear. We don't know yet. But Ebenezer, his name is Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. He completed his move to Italian giants Inter Milan, not too far from me here. And yesterday we had some different statement on that. The boy is said to be a very good player. He has been part of the team that helped Remo Stars gain promotion from the
Okay,
Nigerian National
thank
League.
you. I just want to give my our colleagues 5 seconds each.
Yeah.
How good things can come from Nigeria, from Toronto. 5 seconds. Good things coming from Nigeria, isn't it?
The nation is one of the best nations in the whole entire universe.
I love you, Sir George.
I'm so
Osita, your
serious.
country is doing well outside of governance, isn't it? Dr. Sita, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
What happened to me?
Yeah, your governance, your country is doing well.
Yes, my country is doing well. It's a fantastic country, and this year will be the manifestation. We're looking
Godwin,
forward to
your
it.
country is doing well.
Yeah, well, I want to say that Russian club unveiled Kadri Aruna yesterday, 2 days ago. He's a Nigerian table tennis player and the first African player to be ranked in the top 10 in the world. He's
Nat,
now
your
in
country
Russia.
is actually doing well, isn't it, Nat? Well, that is how far we can go today. I want to thank you all from Toronto, Moscow, Lagos, Abuja, London, Milan. We'll come on your way on Friday when we bring you world news and analysis on behalf of the crew in Italy. May God bless you all. See you on Friday. That's all for today.